Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first Swiss bracket since the inaugural 2019 tournament in Lilac Drive versus Cook. This has been almost 6 years since we have done a Swiss bracket, so we're kind of excited for this. Lilac is Rookie of the Year from last year, and Cook is a new runner running on N64, which should be interesting to watch. And I'm Game Draco, joined by Nock. And we're going to be starting first Swiss bracket since the inaugural 2019 tourney.
Yeah, very exciting. Should be a good match here. Cook is an experienced speedrunner. Just picked up the game. Lilac, obviously, as you said, has a little tourney experience. But I'm thinking this should be a pretty close match. Maybe the closest in the Swiss.
Yeah, though I think tomorrow's, if you are early in the morning, can catch Exodip versus Goop Rush, which could be close too.
True, yeah, Exodipt is no slouch.
Yeah. So.
Just waiting for the players to hit ready on Botto here. As with all of the matches in this round of the Swiss, we will be starting on Spice Mine Run. This is one of the gentler tracks from the amateur circuit. A lot of paying attention to managing heat, especially at the end of the track. That should, aside from crashes, determine a lot of the speed gains here.
Yeah. And yeah, we have
All right, the racers have both readied up. We should see them start any second now. Cook is on Nintendo 64, I believe an actual original console with a capture card and everything.
Yep, that sure looks like N64 because that's what I run.
With, he said, an OEM controller, so not. I
Yep,
know these
OEM controller, that was how I did it too.
which I believe is not the preferred choice between OEM and Hori.
No, the Hori is more responsive, but I've always liked the N64 OEM controller for having like a pistol vice grip. So.
And they're off. Should get the sync pause in a second here. Looked like kind of a wide line for Cook. Lilac handling that corner maybe a little better, and we'll be ahead into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Ooh, on much higher heat for Lilac. Cook having a little trouble holding boosts. Obviously, it's hard just to initiate a boost on N64, where you've got so much input lag and so much you have to hold forward for nose down.
Yeah, but it's still way easier than the Sega Dreamcast version. If you're not pointing that control stick dead straight on the Dreamcast, you won't get a boost register, whereas on the 64 you can actually push it to the top diagonals and still get the boost.
Brutal. Clean racing so far. Cook nudging the walls a little bit, but manages to survive it. But he's going to have a fair bit of time to make up through the tunnel section here if he wants to catch Lilac.
Is he on slightly less upgrades? Because doesn't look like he's accelerating quite as fast as Lilac.
Oh. Yeah, and his top speed is really low. I wonder
No,
if... Could he be on damaged parts, maybe?
I'm not so sure. It could be lower upgrades, too, because the way... Oh, engine fire! But I don't think... He could be... I think he's at max speed. He has the highest top speed upgrade, but acceleration might be off.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like he's hitting the right top speed. Nate Man in chat says he's just bonking, which he has been doing a fair bit of scraping walls.
Yeah.
And the
Easy to
gap
do with
here,
the 64.
yeah, with that input lag and being locked to 24 frames per second, if you're not used to it, it's really difficult.
Yeah. And
Oh, and there's the
oh,
first crash.
um, I also note it also looks like he's not sliding as much, which is kind of critical, which is pretty critical in this game to do turning.
Yeah, if you're not used to, or if you are used to other racing games, that sliding mechanic feels really strange to get used to in this game.
Oof.
Oh, second crash into the tube, and Lilac's lead is maybe over 30 seconds at this point. It was looking so clean on the first lap, and then just these couple of unfortunate crashes. Oh,
And there's
another.
another
Oh,
crash.
yeah. Like you noticed, he's just not sliding around these corners. Couldn't stop himself careening into that wall.
And Ben is a very stiff pod to use, so if you're not used to his handling, you will crash a lot because he's like a dragster. Goes really fast in a straight line, struggles in the bends.
I cannot believe Lilac survived that. Bonking the wall with the boost into the mines.
This
And
track,
yeah,
this game is so wonky when it comes to speed loss triggering crashes. Sometimes you can drop to near zero and you still won't crash.
yeah, well, especially at this low frame rate, since it's speed lost in one frame, it depends where in the frame you lose it, right? You can sort of cheat
Yeah.
death if you lose speed across 2 frames.
And here we have Lilac coming in with a 354.
Very respectable time. Oh.
Ooh!
Yeah, again, just kind of getting stuck on these corners. Mike, I'm not sure we have a. I can't believe they survived that on the bingo card. We should.
Yeah, we should. That is actually quite a good one to put on there.
All right, Cook coming around the few final turns here into the city section. We'll see if he can navigate it this time. Yeah, just losing a lot of speed on the walls. I don't know. Draco, do we have access to the full list of their picks and bans? I didn't see Botto send us a list of it.
We can look at it, and now we're just waiting for Cook to submit his runs.
It looked like a 442 for Cook.
We'll have to punch it in.
And he's checking his parts, so is that a that looked like a plug 8 speed part.
Yeah. What did you get for Cook, like, knock?
I saw a 442. I didn't
Or,
get the milliseconds. Yeah, I suppose a plug 8 is enough to max out Ben's speed, but
yeah,
there
it maxes out Ben. It maxes out Ben. It maxes out Ben, Sebulba, Bowles, and Mars. That's it. Having some technical difficulties over at Cook's end. He forgot.
All right, we're just verifying times now. Okay, and the next track is going to be Cook's Pick in Howler Gorge with Ben Quadranero's band. Cook has already locked in a racer. With Ben band, I would expect at the level of these runners that we're going to see some combination of Mars, Elan Mack, maybe Mahonic.
Yeah.
I do
So
not
at
expect
higher,
either of them to play Bulls.
yeah, Bowles is the second fastest pod fully upgrade, but he's way harder to use than Ben.
Yeah, I would not want to be going into any of these playing Bulls. Just not worth it.
And
You'll
especially on Howler Gorge because Bowles is just greased lightning with those ice parts.
Yeah, true. With his super low traction on those sections that the ice cuts your traction in half, I believe, right?
Yeah, or worse.
All right, racers have 2 minutes to warm up. And then Bada will give the countdown. Both of them have picked their racers.
And on N64, I almost like to say there's like a thing called the traction line where pods with traction lower than Odie and Ben just really struggled on with using the OEM controller.
Yeah, Cook mentioned before the match wanting to pick a lot of tracks with gentler turns. Still getting the hang of turning, so Howler Gorge, not a bad pick for that. There's not too much in the way of nasty chicanes or hairpins, except up at the top of the hill, there is that
Yeah.
one double hairpin. And
Okay,
Mars,
we
as
see.
expected.
Yeah, we have Lilac using Elon Mac. Elon Mac is actually tied with Aldar Beto for the third highest boost thrust at 360, which fully upgrade will have him top out at 1010. So is a so the fastest pod, really fast pod. Though it's a lot greasier, he has the lowest traction in the game, along with Bowles, Arc Bumpy Race, and Beto.
Yeah, let's hope Lilac knows to go up a traction part or two. Ooh, trouble a little bit in the warm-up here for Lilac. Let's see if she can clean that up.
Yeah.
And she's just going all the way over the ice field.
Not a bad strategy with such a greasy pod.
Now, I do believe this may have been, well, it may have been one of Lilac's picks. Unclear. She seems practiced here. Cook also looking stronger here, I think, than on Spice Mine Run. Also opting to jump all the way to the ice field. We'll have
And
to
that.
see.
Oh!
Yeah, we'll have to see how both of them handle the tent here that is required on this course, unlike Vito's Wild Ride. Will Cook's much safer pick in Mars pan out? It could let him get in there a lot easier.
But also, Mars is a lot harder to squeeze into that tent shortcut because he is the widest pod in the game.
That's true. That hitbox causes problems.
I mean, you can die with Mars that other pods won't die to because his hitbox is so large.
Yeah. A little squirrely, but he makes it in practice. Alright, Botto was given the countdown, so we should see the real start any second here. I say any second, it's about a 30-second delay, but...
And this Mars and Elon Mack pairing is quite infamous in the history of this tourney since 2019, since it was how Mikey Berger beat ace on Inferno, and that was repeated the year afterward with King Beandip versus Metallica, where King Beandip used Elon Mech to beat Metallica with Mars. So this has a bit of a rivalry here.
Is this... I'm gonna sound crazy for this. Is this the real race?
I have no idea.
They're so far off. I'm gonna sink Lilac like it is.
Oh. Yeah.
Alright, long sink pause coming in for Lilac. I think this is the real race. That's on me. I thought since they were so desynced it couldn't possibly be. Looks like Lilac has been clean so far, Cook with one crash, and doing this weird strat. We were asked about this beforehand, this wall ride right at the end of the lap to cut a couple of obstacles.
Oh, crashes into the 10 entry.
It's a decent respawn at least.
Oh man. This is not, that is a really risky way to go through the tent, but that's what you're supposed to do. Because his boost is just super long. Mars has the longest boost in the game. Not by distance, but in terms of like duration.
Looks like Cook maybe about
Second
10
off.
seconds behind. Yeah, I can sink a little longer than this. Actually, I'm gonna leave it. I don't know if I type in 1, I don't know if it's gonna reset.
Crashes
Ooh.
falls into the gap. That is a crash I
Yeah.
don't usually see on this track.
Just not high enough speed, it looked like. Or maybe dropped the nose up too early. Oh, and slamming into the wall.
Not that hard to do when it is so hard to thread the needle through there. Particularly with Mars.
What a tent entrance for Lilac. I thought she was dead for sure. This wall ride, I think this wall ride is buying Cook actually a fair bit of time back. That looks faster than Lilac's strategy. She's been taking a very conservative path through the end there.
Uh-oh!
Oh, and crashes on the tent after looking so good. No, Cook, go back! No! Oh, he's going the long way.
It's not like it's... Did he forfeit?
Did he
I
restart?
think that was a forfeit. I think we'll have to count that as a forfeit.
Whoops. Well, it doesn't change the outcome of this race at least, but yeah, we'll go ahead and send Cook a reminder to not restart. Very easy thing to do. You're used to resetting all day and then... One crash for Lilac near the end, after it looked so clean. And coming in with a 355. Alright, we'll see if we can get a hold of Cook here. Alright, I've pinged Cook. We'll see if he notices and responds.
You might be going through
Yeah,
a full round.
Yeah, I don't know how well he can look at Discord while he's playing, given he's on an N64.
Yeah, it's a really ponderous setup. Because, I mean, the setup to do it would probably be because the setup, I played it on 64, and usually you have to have, ideally you could play the 64 version, particularly if you're using a 64 console. The best way to play it is actually on your own TV, particularly an old cathode ray tube TV, where it's more responsive. And I just know that there's much more laggy trying to stream a console version than through the computer with a capture card than playing on TV via TV, particularly with a CRT. Oh no!
Yeah, I really hope Cook is playing on a dedicated monitor and not trying to play through the capture card. Showing us a route we don't normally see. It's just a little faster to go through the center there instead of routing up top.
Yeah, I think we're waiting for Cook to finish, and he's gonna punch in.
It is possible that Cook just fully missed the countdown and then realized and hit it. And thinks that this is the real run. Which, if that's the case, mark your bingo cards, because runner misses the countdown is on there. And yeah, really, in these slow sections, the sharper turns, you can see, yeah, that lack of sliding is really harming Cook. Let's crash again. I wonder. It doesn't look like he's releasing nose down. I think Mars is just maybe not quite fast enough. Or something about the N64 physics is making it harder to hold that. I thought N64 was normally better at jumps, but alright, and we have the time submitted.
Okay, next track is Ben Ban, and we're going to its longer twin, Andobe Mountain Run.
Now this, again with Ben Band, this is not an easy track. The canyon section at the end in particular is very challenging to do quickly. We'll see the first, I don't know, 50% or so of the race is actually identical to Howler Gorge. So we'll be seeing a lot of the same. And I would expect this is another Elan versus Mars match, or Lilac may opt for the safer Mars as well here, just knowing that the course is more difficult. Should see them starting to warm up in a minute here. Yeah, looks like Lilac is
Now,
right
Cook
on time.
has still is on his screen for Howler.
Yeah, he said was a little shaken by he did miss the countdown. That wasn't he thought he was in warm-ups and then restarted when he realized the countdown was there. Which this is Cook's first time using Botto. That's our lovely bot. It is a little confusing if you've never played this before, if you've never played a tourney before, just to you're so focused on the match, it's very easy to miss that there's stuff going on in Discord.
And the bot is even more confusing for this year because we did a major overhaul of the rules.
Yes, if you knew the rules before, you certainly don't know them anymore. Mahonic for
which is not a bad choice, and he is actually the track favorite for Andobi Mountain Run.
That seems like a very reasonable track favorite. Mahonic has a good mix of speed and handling. Really pretty cozy pod to play. Not a super long boost. I think it depends on the track, but he tends to be comparable to Mars.
He's
At least,
actually close. He's actually closest to Elon Mack.
okay, so a little faster then.
Yeah, his boost thrust is 350, which is fifth after Ben Bowles, Beto, and Elon Mack. So, and he tops out at 1,000 theoretically. And compared to has a little higher traction than Elon Mack, slightly lower booster, much better cooling, and a much shorter boost. And I think this time we're actually seeing the start.
Yep, looks like both players are ready to go, and that's a
Yeah,
pretty darn good sync. I'll do a
that's
quick little 1 second pause.
yeah. Yep.
Alright, and pretty comparable speed so far. Oh, Cook, you are scaring me there, buddy. Don't hit that pillar. Maybe a 5/10 gap for Lilac right now. Both pretty similar going into here.
Yeah.
But
I
it's all
never.
going to be in the canyon.
Yeah. Yeah, I could never use these two pods well on 64. They're just, the traction is just so low and it's just brutal on the OEM.
Yeah, Mahonic at least makes up for it with decent handling, but I've never liked him on PC, so...
Yeah.
Alright, coming up to that infamous canyon
there.
section.
That's, guess he doesn't know. And
Yeah.
this is a really difficult part. Kind of have to
Ooh.
use the brakes.
Yeah,
In the
double
red.
engine for Cook. At least repairing in here doesn't cost a ton, since you need to slow down anyway.
Yeah. What makes this track so difficult at a super high level is that you have to do that canyon, that ice crevasse turn chicane with no braking. You can't brake at a really high level.
Yeah, they call it Fast Canyon, and it's one of the hardest things
Oh,
in the game.
I saw that coming!
Yeah, just a little too close on the left side. Lilac
Usually,
had about...
yeah,
Lilac was about 11 seconds ahead, but with that crash should be closer to 16, 17,
yeah,
and escaping with Elan's boost thrust.
yeah, it is a very, yeah, this is this is a scary track to do.
It's a bold pick.
It's a
Rookie
bold
runner.
pick.
Cook was
Yeah.
talking about learning the game, 5 tracks at a time, so respect for the pick.
Yeah.
And has been, aside from that one crash, pretty alright so far. Crash in the canyon for
Now
Lilac.
he recognizes the shortcut.
Lilac can afford that death, just did not brake hard enough into one of the tighter turns in the canyon.
Slides into it, still crashes!
Okay, Cook making up a lot of time here.
That is a big damage engine on the right.
Yeah, but gets out. Cleanish, no crashes at least. We'll see. Oh, well.
Oh, there's mark your bingo cards for a commentator's curse.
I shouldn't talk. I shouldn't talk. Sorry, Cook. That's on me. Clean tent entrance for Cook, at least. And cleans up the crash from the previous lap as well.
For sure.
Going the other route? Alright. That's actually fine. Both of these routes are comparable in terms of...
Yeah. It really depends on the pod. I know Mahonk might be faster with the other way, but his boost could possibly make him go the other way too. I know if he used a pod that's really short in boost, like Bullseye Navarre, that path Cook took on lap 3 would be much faster.
That looked like a split-second decision because of the boost. Cook came out
Yeah,
of the
it did
tunnel
look
on
like
max
that.
speed, so... Good wherewithal there.
Oh!
Lord! Oh, the red engine! Could not repair it in time, and the
Could not
poor...
repair it in time. It veered him off the entrance.
That's unlucky. Sometimes you just take a ton of damage for no reason when you land.
I actually found out that if you cancel the boost right before you hit the impact, you reduce your damage significantly.
Yeah, I believe it. It's based on how much speed you lose, I imagine. Alright, and Lilac will take us to match point. See how Cook navigates the canyon here. Obviously, Cook and all of the... We have at least 2 other rookie runners this year. As the tournament progresses, they're going to be making the biggest gains in terms of consistency and personal bests, so... Be looking to Cook to see how well he handles AMR in particular. This is a really brutal track, and he looked pretty alright through the canyon. Alright, go ahead and verify their times. And our final track, well, potential final track here, our final pick from Cook, I should say, is going to be Aquilera's Classic, still with Ben Band. Yeah, first match is tough for sure. And this is Swiss, right? These players are not going to be eliminated. Actually,
Yeah,
ironically, losing this match will make for likely an easier match next time.
yes,
As a-
because we're going to have, as a result of this round 1 Swiss, we're going to have the winners face off against other winners, and those who lost are going to face off against other players who lost for the next round of Swiss in round 2.
So, no matter what happens, neither of these players are being knocked out today. Both of them will play at least 4 matches and have plenty of opportunities to shake off the turning nerves, work on those PBs, really grind out the strats.
And Aquara's Classic is a track that we consider to be kind of a one that we tell players new to this game to warm up on because it tends to give you good basics. Oh man,
Mahonic
he's
again.
using Mahonic again.
Yeah, I guess Elan or Mahonic are probably... I mean, Bulls, obviously, and Beto are both faster, but I don't want to play either of those pods, and neither do these players.
Yeah. And Cook is being a lot braver than I was on 64 because I never used Mahonic for any real serious speed running in it because I just got too scared by how low his traction is.
Yeah, sometimes you just like a pod. I wonder if that's some of what it is. Certainly a bold pick. Same with Elan. Elan is not... I'd be playing Mars here. All of these
Yeah,
tracks. Been gone, just go to Mars. Accept
yeah,
the slightly lower
Mars.
speed, don't crash. Much respect
Yeah,
to these players.
Mars is, yeah. Mars is the reliability champ of this game, particularly if you do 100% runs.
Yes, Mars is the undisputed king of 100%. Both of them having some trouble with these gates in warm-up.
Yeah, it's a very specific pattern. Once you get the pattern down, it's a lot easier to do. There's like a very distinctive pattern on these laps where they open where it's open on the left, and then you open the gates, and then the pattern favors the opening and closing. Though it might be different with Lilac, just because she is using a a, a computer pod to make the lines better.
Yeah, that should keep the pattern the same both laps. It's really lap 1, I think, is the hardest, where you have to jog around the central pillar on both of them.
Yeah,
On laps 2 and 3, you can kind of just pick a side and go, even if you don't have the helper AI. But
yeah,
yeah,
you
lap
can,
1
that's
is
exactly
squishy.
what happens.
Okay, looks like we're getting a little hiccup with Botto sorted out. Would not be Botto if he wasn't being temperamental. Okay, just waiting for... Alright, countdown is incoming. Here we go. Okay, and Cook is back off. I assume this is Cook's real start.
Yeah, countdown has started, but Lilac hasn't started, or did her stream froze? It looks like her stream froze. Oh no!
Ooh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Let me see if we can get a hold of her. And Cook is back on the starting screen. What is going on?
What is going on? What to expect with the first match when we have a radical overhaul of the rules?
Okay, this looks like... Okay, that was... Cook was using the rest of his warm-up time. Lilac... Okay, we're all good.
Okay, this looks like a real start.
Alright, we have escaped disaster. Get the sync pause, and we can play a normal race. Lilac
Yeah.
already... Well, Lilac's stream is very slightly ahead, but...
Oh!
Ooh! What a nasty little bit of geometry. And Cook did not take the shortcut at the start of the lap, correct?
There's no shortcuts.
Well,
There's
I
no
mean the shorter path.
the shorter path. He did not take the shorter path. That is correct. What are you doing?
Oh, Lilac probably just saw my ping that her stream was frozen? Uh,
Oh no!
oh. Oh, did she restart?
Yeah, I think I see. She quit. What's going on?
Oh, no. She did not need to DNF.
Looks like her stream has gained speed. It's turning into like a slideshow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm gonna see... Let's make sure to pause the proceedings after Cook finishes here, and we can take a sec to figure out what's going on with that.
Oh,
That would be up to Cook. Lilac did quit the actual race, so I mean, unfortunately, by the rules, she just has to take the DNF. Sounds like Lilac is just going to go to her pick, so I will verify.
we got ourselves another match.
All right, we're going to Lilac's first pick, Malastair 100. Sebulba is banned, so hopefully both players are using Ben.
Yeah, this track is actually this is actually one of the tracks that's actually more optimal to do on 64 because the optimal way to do this track is actually on 24 frames per second at 20 at the lowest traction part because of the hairpin that makes this track.
Yeah, that final hairpin is really the entire track. The rest of this is not super notable.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
gentle turns.
you need to, and the trick is to really slide through that turn. And if you misjudge it, you'll just slam into the wall or take a lot of damage.
Yeah, well, and it's got that weird geometry with the warning gate at the end. Or the warning, not gate, but I don't know what to call it. It's like a road sign, I guess. Uh, yep, they're going M100 adept.
Yeah. Bullseye on M100.
Bullseye. Okay. I mean, that'll be a whole heck of a lot slower than Ben. He's a fairly safe pick, but
And you can tell that for certain that he's not using the highest upgrade part because Bullseye does not max out at 650 unless you're using the highest upgrade part.
yeah, let's hope we can get Cook's save file fixed before his next match.
We know how to do it with PC, but I don't think there's an option for that on 64 like he's running.
And well, isn't there a money cheat on N64?
I don't know of any cheats that can do the unlocking like there is on PC.
Huh, darn. It doesn't look like Cook has played much of this track, that new lap record.
That's fine.
Okay. This should be the real start, at least for Lilac. Alright, Lilac is off. Let's see if Cook caught the countdown.
I don't think he has. Oh, here he goes. You don't have to quit. Okay, both got it. Ooh, and Cook doesn't get the boost start either. That's gonna really hamper him even more. And we're gonna have a long sync pause coming in. Ah!
Oh, 2 already for Cook.
He is
Yeah,
just
really.
not used to this track.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he said he was learning the game 5 tracks at a time. It's a bit of a brittle strategy. Oof. Alright, at least makes it over the jump.
No,
Ooh.
no boost in there!
Oh, yeah, even Bullseye needs to brake for that turn. And Lilac with a commanding lead. Already almost done with her second lap as Cook completes his first. Lilac picked this track a lot last year as well, so very familiar. Alright, Cook navigating his second lap a lot better. Let's see. Oh! Yeah, I would call that a terrifying hairpin strategy.
Yeah. And Bullseye's really high traction. Usually it's helpful on 64, but it's not very helpful on this track.
152.1 for Lilac. That might be a PB for her. I'm not certain. Quite a good time. And we'll see how Cook's third lap goes. Oh, I was so hoping he'd have a clean third lap. You can see him getting better at this in real time.
For real.
Not quite quick enough. And remembers not to boost. And across the line at 240. Alright. Well, GG's. Good stuff from Cook, I think. That was...
Definitely. And
it looked a lot more confident than you would expect for a first-time racer in the tournament.
for sure. And we're fine. Lilac showed off Deadbolt.
Yeah, last year with the track favorite force, she was playing this a lot. I believe Deadbolt is her favorite pod. I think that's her flair in the server, so.
Lilac?
Hello, Lilac. GG's. Congratulations.
Thanks. Looks like Cook is in the other voice channel.
I'll get him sorted.
Yeah, thank you. Glad we got to go to M100. Love that track.
There we go.
Hello there.
Hello,
Hey,
Cook.
GG's Cook. Go to M100. Love that.
GG. Oh, it looks like we've got a echo on someone's end.
Oh, it's. Are you just broadcasting your desktop audio?
I thought I was, yes. How's that now?
Weird. Yeah, okay. That sounds like it's fixed.
Okay.
Okay,
we're
sorry.
good.
Goodness me. GG, Lila?
GG Cook, congrats on your first ever tourney race. Or tourney
Yeah,
match.
goodness me, that could have gone smoother, couldn't it?
Don't worry. Me knocking commentary and you and Lilac were guinea pigs for the major overhaul this year.
I thought
Yeah,
that
very
went
good. I
fine.
was a little bit clueless about some of the elements, but yeah,
It's
lots of fun,
okay.
though.
It's, everyone has a first time in tourney.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, especially
Botto
when
is
Botto
not
is already
an easy bot to use.
No, it's good. You guys are very organized with the whole Botto thing. That's very impressive, I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's very nice when he works.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it works.
He has a little hiccup, and then.
Shoutouts to Lightning Pirate, who's our coder, who has helped with that.
Yeah, for all we rip Botto, we do love him.
Yeah, it is
Very
amazing.
nice racing from both of you. Cook, very impressed with how confident you looked on all those tracks. Some kind of nasty picks. AMR is pretty bold.
Yeah, you say that, but it has 80% of the track is shared with Howler Gorge, so I figured that way I wouldn't have to learn as many tracks.
I was
Yeah, fair
wondering.
enough.
That was my strategy. It obviously didn't pull off, but
I mean, still fun picks. Those were the whole Andobi series, Ando Prime. All of those are all fun tracks. So great picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely
And
they
you
were
were-
my favorite tracks, and Mars Glow was my favorite as a kid, so I thought it was a little bit less practice on that respect as well.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, you were really brave to use Mahonic on N64 on AMR because
Oh my god.
I'm a 64 runner, and any pod that has traction lower than Ben and Odie for me, particularly when Mahonic is in that category, I just struggle with on every track. So you kudos to actually
It was
doing
a last
one
minute
better
pick,
than
um,
actual N64 speedrunner of this game.
Yeah, it was a last minute pick. I was originally practicing Mars Glow on all of the tracks, but then I think Dommy put on in the Discord some stats for the different pods last night, and I thought, oh, maybe this would work better. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit more consistent than it would have been otherwise. Less crashes, even though I still had a lot, but yeah, still not quite as
Yeah.
quick as it could have been with Mars Glow.
Yeah, it's Mars would have been a really tricky pick because you would have to thread the needle through the tent shortcut on laps 2 and 3 with him.
Yeah, I was getting used to it, but yeah, it was more picking the other guy for the what do you call it? The section through the ice tunnel, the gorge at the end.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the canyons. Oh my gosh.
Canyons, yes, canyons with Mars. I was doing a lot of crashing, so I was trying to reduce the amount of embarrassment.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
canyons
Mars-
are nasty.
Yeah, Mars's hitbox makes that canyon really challenging to him.
Yeah, I was. It was funny when I was practicing on emulator before I got the console set up. I think either my controller or the physics were quite different, and I was actually making that the canyon skip, pretty consistently. But then yeah, it's on the console and with the OEM controller range, it was just not happening for me in practice. So
Oh man.
I mean, major props for running on the N64 console.
yeah, thank you. Sorry that everyone had to sit through it. I hope it was entertaining at least.
Oh no, I'm sure. This is a fun match to watch for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll get the controller sorted out for next time, and hopefully next time will be a little bit faster.
Yeah, you will. Just as a note, Lilac, you will be playing against another winner of round 1. And Lilac and Cook, you're going to be playing against another person who lost round 1.
Good.
Yeah, I don't. We will see who my opponent is, but I do not have the highest hopes for next match. But hey, I'm still going to show up and give it my all.
Rookie
good
of
luck
the
to both of
season
you.
last season, wasn't it? So well done, Lilac.
Yes, caused a major upset in everyone's predictions.
Yeah, I lost a lot of fake internet points on that.
Oh my gosh. But yes, last season was my first time actually getting past qualifiers into tourney, and only found out after my first match that the turning sensitivity in the options menu has a large effect on how far you can turn in this game.
Yeah, I only I did know about the traction, but I only sort of looked into it last night, and I'm thinking, I should probably practice on something less than R600 for some of these, and then I was like, nah, it's too late. We'll just we'll just keep it consistent.
Yeah,
Fair
that
enough.
was actually how I sped run with over a decade ago. My speed run strategy was all R600 on 64 OEM.
Yeah. I think reducing it would be faster, especially on the what is it, Aquilarius Classic. But yeah, it was too late for me to change. We'll try it for next time.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It is. It's fun. It's a game with a lot of depth, though. It's certainly hard to master.
Oh, it is super hard to master. It is a really tough game. It's a very unique racing game too, particularly because of the fact that you don't lose any speed while turning.
Yeah, and
there is.
the traction
I
is
mean,
weird. It's all a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking forward to see some of these upcoming matches here in round one.
Yeah, definitely so.
and there's gonna be and there's gonna be two matches tomorrow.
And
think it's
as the
gonna be-
matches go, it should just get closer and closer as the Swiss is designed to sort of bring racers into matches that match their skill.
Yeah, and what is it? Tomorrow it's Mikey and Bell, and then it's Goofbrush and Adept.
Yeah, Goofbrush versus Exadipt, and then followed by Mikey Berger versus Bell.
Yeah, that looks at 11:30 Eastern Time, and then 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
I think it's actually
on Speed
10
TV.
I think it's 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and then it's
You're right. Boto's got the wrong time.
and then it's 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Mikey and Bell.
Yep, thank you for that. Don't listen to me.
Check the SpeedGaming schedule; it's more accurate.
Yes, what is it? SpeedGaming.org.
SpeedGaming.org.
Cool.
Definitely be watching them tomorrow.
Yes, I'll be busy in the morning, but I plan to catch the afternoon match.
All right, well, GG's to both of you runners. Congratulations again, Lilac, on your win, and
Thank you.
good show, Cook. Very strong first match for you, I think.
Lots of room
Anyone
for
have any final
improvement.
comments before we sign off?
Stay tuned for more fun pod racing, and Cook, I look forward to seeing how you improve. I think that
Yep.
you're going to be a great runner.
Thank you so much. You guys are all very kind, and it's a really lovely
Yeah.
community. Also, yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Take care, everyone. Good luck. May the force be with you.